Excellent!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my Cases of Computex video. Of course, I need to start by saying a big thank you to my sponsors for my Computex 2015 coverage. That's MSI, G.Skill, and Cooler Master. It's because of them that I'm here, so a huge thank you. This video includes some audience participation though, so go ahead and click on the links in this video's description to the straw polls. You can vote on which of these cases you like the best. You can vote on even cases that aren't in this video, because I didn't really go to every single case manufacturer that was there. That's enough for this intro though, on with the show. What's up guys, we're here at Fractal. They've invited us to a really hip club, and I have Luke here who's going to help me model this new case. This is the Core 500. This is essentially the successor to the Node 304, which was Fractal's mini ITX case. They've made some updates and some enhancements to it, so we're going to take a closer look here. First off, up in the front, you've got your brushed, faux brushed aluminum that's actually plastic, kind of like we have in the Define R5. I like the look of it, and it doesn't pick up fingerprints as well. Little Fractal logo down there at the bottom. Power buttons are up here on the top. You're going to have a blue LED, as far as I know, for the hard drive activity light. USB 3.0, of course, all that stuff's pretty simple. Note the ventilation here up at the top. It can fit a 240 radiator up there, but we'll show you more of that in a second. There's also ventilation here on the side, and both of these have magnetic dust filters that you can pop on from the inside, of course, so not too difficult to remove. Also, the power supply is going to go towards the front, just like it did in the Node 804, so that's where the intake for the power supply is. Thank you, Luke, for removing the top cover, just like so. Pops off, and here's a quick look at the little dust filter. It uses magnets. It's magic. Alright, inside we have lots of hard drive space, surprisingly enough. One of the things that it looks like they did was remove the hard drives that used to be in the Node 304, but you can actually do a 2.5 and a 2.5, a 3.5 and a 3.5. You can do another 3.5 down here, and you can do another 2.5 kind of hidden behind this front panel. So you could actually, and that's all at the same time. You could do 3 2.5s and 3 3.5s, all in this case, while still having room for a radiator at the top. Now, I didn't mention, but there's a 5 1/4 inch drive bay at the front there, which might be useful for folks who are maybe looking to do a Blu-ray. That's still very popular use for an HTPC. All the cabling inside is black. What am I missing? I don't know. Oh yes, the graphics card. Flip it around here. So you'll note there's zero obstruction for the graphics card, which means you could have a graphics card that's almost as tall as Luke is here. It goes all the way to the front. They don't make them that big. There's also cable tie-down points all along the bottom edge here, which I like. You'll notice the fixed mounts for your mini ITX. And apart from that, there's also this black pass-through AC adapter cable that goes from the back up to the front, so you can connect it to your power supply. That's almost everything. I think. Did I forget anything? Now, we've been told it fits a 240 rad at the top, but there's actually mounting points that are wider for 140 millimeter fans, which means you could maybe even do a 280 millimeter radiator in here, but they're not officially supporting that because it would be tough depending on the radiator you're using. Oh, I did forget, there is a single fan that's included, 140 millimeter. It's set up to be an exhaust out the back. So there's no active intake for air at the front of the case, but there is ventilation along either side, right here. So it's still going to be able to pull some air in through there. And then of course you have those open spaces along the sides for all that other good stuff. Finally, removable dust filter at the bottom for your power supply. So pretty impressive that Fractal has as much dust filtration, as many drives that you can support, and they've really opened up the inside compared to the Node 304 while still giving you lots of space to do things. Luke approves, and I approve. There's one more case to look at. So guys, here's the second case that Fractal has shown us today. This is the Node 202. This is a mini ITX kind of in the Steam box variety, I suppose. So you'll notice, of course, the standard Scandinavian minimalist design, Fractal Design logo up there. Luke has it in the vertical orientation right now because it does come with a stand, so you can set it up like that. But you could also flip it to the side like so. And it's got rubber feet on the bottom, and you can lay it sideways, so perfectly at home in a home theater PC environment or something like that. I/O here at the front, USB 3.0, mic and headphone, power button, and a blue LED indicator light. I don't believe there is a reset button, at least not that we have found on this particular case, but that's okay. As far as the top goes, I'll try to remove this here. I'll try not to break anything.
There's a look at the inside of the top. I thought this was plastic. It is mostly plastic, but there's actually metal on top. That's a metal piece. So you can pop this off if you need to clean that filter out, for example. And there's a look at the inside. Not a whole lot. It's pretty much just a cover. Let's look at the guts. So this does come with an included power supply, and I like that because Fractal has done a pretty good job with their power supplies. It's a 450 watt Integra, 80 plus bronze rated, and then you got the motherboard mount right over here. If you remove the bottom panel, this actually becomes a cutout behind there, so if you need to remount a CPU fan, heatsink fan for example, you can do that. Again, all black sleeved cables for the most part, except for maybe a little bit on the HD audio there, but we'll let that slide. Cabling here for the small form factor power supply as well. And then you have a separate chamber over here where the graphics card is going to go. This little slider is a graphics card support. It's going to come with a riser card, so you can actually have your graphics card at an angle right there. And I believe the fans will be on top here, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, that should be the case. No. It'd be flipped. Oh, you're right. So the fans will be underneath. That's why they have this part underneath. That makes perfect sense now. These actually also have 120 millimeter fan mounts on them, which I don't know if you could fit there while you have a graphics card. But maybe if you had a mini ITX graphics card, you could do some extra air intake right there. That could be a possibility.
Well, it looks like it actually because you've got dual slot here, so it would your 16X port would go through here. Your card would go down 2 slots to here, and then you could have two fans there.
I mean,
although I don't know how you're gonna. Oh no, that would go on the other side of the slider.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you.
At least an intake fan could potentially be put right here, especially if your graphics card wasn't very long. So that could give you a bit of extra air intake because this doesn't come with any fans. At least as far as we know, right? Only fan is going to be in that included power supply. But that's pretty much it. It's a pretty simple layout. But for a Steam box or a small HTPC or something like that, you've got plenty of space for a graphics card over here. And then where do you put your drives? Actually, that's a good question. Did we ever figure that out?
I don't think we ever asked.
We never asked where the drives go. This is how production goes. We're doing an on-the-fly double check of the included material that Fractal brought us over. There's a Node 202 with the Integra SFX 450 watt power supply. 10.2 liters. And that's important. The actual volume, if you wanted to fill it with Coke or water, maybe mango juice or
Starfruit juice.
Starfruit juice,
which was not very good.
Which we tried on the way over here. It was like different.
I wasn't a fan. It was too salty.
A little bit weird.
They don't have anything on the.
There's nothing about drive support. We're smart enough. I found them right here. 2.5.
There you go.
All right. So you got a couple 2.5 inch slots right there. That's where your drives go.
Guys, I'm at Corsair, and Corsair, they actually don't have a lot of new full-size cases, but they do have this new case slash kind of an all-in-one system. It's called the Bulldog, and what we're looking at right now is actually the internal chassis. I'm going to show you guys the full chassis. It's over there in their little their home living room system setup that they have going on. But if you guys are interested in this, if you're interested in a small form factor system, Corsair has done a lot of the work of integrating the cooling that's necessary and allowing you to basically get a full-size 4K capable gaming system, whether it's for an HTPC or whether it's for I don't know, something that you want to put in your bedroom or something like that. You just want something small. And their focus here has been not only on getting you really, really good cooling, especially for a small form factor, but also making sure that it stays really compact. So the Bulldog has a Hydro Series H5SF cooling system, which is right here. So this actually drops right on top of the motherboard, and this is compatible with other cases as well that are this similar form factor, but you can get it all integrated. This whole thing is about $400 MSRP. Comes with the case, of course. Comes with a motherboard. It comes with the cooling you see here, except for the GPU cooler, because they've integrated a GPU cooler here as well. So all you need to do is add your own CPU, memory, and some storage, and then probably a video card too, if you want to go with a discrete video card. And you can get an all-in-one system called the Bulldog. The other cool thing is it's compatible with full-size graphics cards. So as you can maybe see down here, that's a side-by-side configuration, so the graphics card is flipped over to the side. Right now they have a Titan X in there, so that's a lot of power going on in a single system.
And apart from that, for storage, you can do a 3.5-inch drive right here, or you can do a 2.5-inch and a couple more 2.5-inch drives as a swappable bracket. And they're also liquid cooling the GPU in this configuration. There's a GPU down there. They have connected with one of their G10 coolers, and they put the radiator right there. So they have a liquid-cooled GPU, they have a liquid-cooled CPU, and they also have this new little SFX power supply that they've just been working on. It's a 600 watt. Here it is right here. 80 plus gold rated. There is a severe lack of these on the market, so I'm really glad that Corsair came out with this one. It even looks really nice. So I know we're going to start seeing this in a lot of small form factor builds. This will be available standalone, or of course you can buy it integrated with the Bulldog. Guys, I'm over here at BitFenix, and you may have seen my recent build in the Aegis. I used the blue version down there, but they've also got the white and the black and the red and the yellow right here. But I'm not going to talk about the Aegis. I'm going to talk about this LED strip right here. So BitFenix is kind of known for their premium high quality LED strips. That's one of the first case mounting products that they came out with originally. And this one here now has magnets on it. Look at that. That's right, this LED strip is magnetic, which means you don't have to mess around with adhesive or glue or something like that. You can just pop it on to anywhere that's magnetic. They've also gone and lengthened the cable for it a little bit, so it's a little easier to route back down to your power supply or wherever your source of power is. And they even went so far as to put a bit of magnet on this part of the cable as well. So you can pop that on, snap it, and then route the cable however you want to. I think it's very nice. And I'm going to ask Sasha real quick, what colors are you going to do for the LED strips?
So we're going to have them in white, blue, NVIDIA matching green or Razer matching green, purple, and yeah, that's it.
Okay, so you guys might recognize the Pandora. It's a micro ATX case. It debuted last year. It's been available for sale for a little while, but they were like, hey, we should make a bigger one. Actually, fans were like, hey guys, you should make a bigger one. So here's the Pandora ATX. It has the same styling and everything as the Pandora Micro ATX. They've even done stuff like they brought the cost down a little bit by going with a non-brush metal finish here. So the Pandora ATX is going to be the same price as the Pandora Micro ATX. Here's a quick look at the inside. They've got the beautiful side panel window cover down here for the power supply. This case has been very well received overall. I've seen several builds in it that look quite beautiful, including this one right here. And they're also going to have the optional inclusion of the little panel up here, the LED panel.
Icon display. Yeah.
Icon display. So you can put up there and do your own little image in there and really personalize the build if you want to. Also, they're still working on some of the finishing touches here, but it does have some USB 3.0 up on the top. They said they're going to shrink down the sizes of these buttons because they're a little bit large right now.
Ports.
And there'll be 4 ports for USB 3.0 instead of 2 ports, which is very nice. Also, this top piece pops off without too much difficulty. That's it. That is if you can use 2 hands, of course. And as you can see up there, full 360 radiator support. Yeah, so a beautiful case for just doing an air-cooled build or water cooling, of course, as BitFenix cases are always tooled up and geared for water cooling. That's the Pandora ATX, available soon? August, available in August. Finally, here's the BitFenix Atlas. We actually saw this last year in a very early revision. They were doing research and development on it. They have now gotten much closer to mass production. They're still doing some finishing touches. So the updates that BitFenix did with the Atlas was basically make it a bit smaller. That's going to cut down on shipping costs for sure. It also means it has slightly less radiator support than it did before, but granted, they were able to fit 4 full-size 360 rads in here. Now you can do 2 up in the front. How about on the top?
2 slim ones.
2 slim 360s on the top. So you still have full support there. But, I mean, who needs more than 2 360 rads anyway, right? Here's a quick look at the system that they have in here. The tubing's not there because it's stuck in customs. But you can see a beautiful build going on in here. And the customization and modularity of this system is really quite impressive. So we're going to kind of take a look around here. Well, let's look at the front. There's a look at it from the front. It's a 2-chamber design, one on either side. And you can actually swap them. We'll show you that in just a second. But you can see there's 6 fans doing intake on the front right now. There's a kind of a look from the other side. There's windows on either side too, which is pretty cool. Here's your I/O up on top. Hey, what's that? We have power reset. We have mic and headphone. We have a couple USB 3.0, and we have a USB 3.1 Type A and a USB 3.1 Type C connector. This is the first case I've seen that actually integrated onto the front. Now granted, they're still ratifying the spec for USB Type 3.1, so we might have to be dealing with pass-throughs for the time being. That's not BitFenix's fault, that's USB's fault. But that's still very, very nice to have that on front, and very nice to have both connectors. Alright, so here's a look at the opposite side for the motherboard tray. This is the kind of gut section. So you can see they've already got a 360 rad up here. The power supply is mounted down there at the bottom. And then up here on top, they have a pretty unique hard drive cage. Would you mind helping me out, Sasha, real quick? So it's got a thumb screw at the top that flips down. And then they have these drive cages, which are full metal, actually made of steel. So you just drop your drive into that, slide it in like so. You can screw it in if you want to, or if you're not going to be moving the case around, you don't have to. And then there's these rubber pads that as you close it up, the rubber pads will make contact with that and they'll hold those in place nice and snugly. They're also going to have some rubber inserts that you can put in there if you want to drop 2.5-inch drives as well. Alright, and here's where things get really interesting. You notice these handles right here that pop out. You might notice these thumb screws right here as well. And basically what you can do is remove the thumb screws, and as long as everything's not wired up, of course, you can pull this entire right side out or pull the entire left side out, and you can flip them. That way you can put your motherboard on one side, on this side instead of this side, or vice versa. And that allows you, especially if you're left-handed, or depending on how your desk is set up and where you want to have your system, and you want to always have a nice look at it because you spent so much work on it, you can do that. So fantastic modularity. Also from up here you can see the bit of a gap they have up here to allow for airflow. Oh, and they're going to have dust filters that drop in there too, so you can easily remove them for dust filtration, which is always important on a case. And then one last point here, guys, looking here back at the main window, there are a couple more SSD mounts down there at the bottom. So if you have a super fast SSD, maybe an Intel 750, pop it in right there and get a nice view of it. Anyway, that's the BitFenix Atlas coming very, very soon. Do we have any ETA or expected date for this one, Sasha?
Also August.
August.
Yes.
So guys,
all
keep an eye.
all August.
Oh, beautiful. So guys, coming in August, the BitFenix Atlas. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm over here at the InWin booth, and oh my goodness, if there's one thing that InWin never fails to do, it's come up with a freaking crazy design for a case. So what we're looking at right now is the H Tower, and this is in its unpacked state, I suppose. It collapses down to the shape of the silver box that you can maybe see over there behind. And I also have some footage of it actually expanding and collapsing, which, oh my gosh, it's just really impressive to look at. It's one of those kind of wow showpieces. I do not know if, practically speaking, this is going to be a case for everyone, but it is definitely a case to ogle at, and a case that we're going to see companies like Asus, MSI, and Gigabyte building like super high-end systems in, as well as I'm sure some like professional case modders and that sort of thing. But anyway, it's made of aluminum and SECC steel. Actual specs for these cases that InWin puts together are, they always seem like, oh, it's so aggressive, but then the specs itself are like, you got one 3.5-inch drive bay, 4 2.5-inch drive bays, supports EATX motherboards, standard ATX power supplies. It does have a USB 3.1 Type C connector, which is nice. And then it supports, of course, as you can maybe already see, radiators up to 360 millimeters. And then CPUs of heights up to 290, 214 millimeters. But really, what this case is all about is watching it fold and unfold and reveal itself. So you can see there's some like hydraulics there in the center. There is an app that uses Bluetooth control to actually expand or contract the case. There's also buttons on the side that you can see there that pop it open, reorient the position of the motherboard tray in the middle, and also allow you to collapse it back down if necessary. But the app is a lot cooler because the app will also allow you to access functionality like the LEDs, which are conveniently arrayed inside. Maybe you can take a look at those down right there. In this ROG build that we're looking at right now, they're red, but you can change them. They are RGB, so you can adjust the colors of those independently and give yourself colors to match your system. Also, it's available, as you can see here, in ROG red and black, or I suppose it's not just ROG red and black now, it's also lots of other different motherboard manufacturers red and black. But you also have the silver and blue option here as well. And just a incredible and unexpected case, and something I wanted to share with you guys today. But that's not all Inwin has. Okay, here is the Inwin 808. I asked what the price point is on this case, and we're expecting less than $200, maybe even like $160 or $170. Yes, you are correct. This is tempered glass on the side panel, as well as a tempered glass accent piece on the front with the Inwin logo. And you can see it's got the little Inwin splash there with the light up Inwin behind it. You do have a 5 1/4 inch bay on this case up in the front. You also have some USB 2.0 and USB 3.0. You can see the power button there as well as reset. And then inside they have a pretty unique layout in that you can actually do, sorry, I know it's very reflective right now, but let me make it a little bit brighter. Hey look, there's me. Hi everyone. Okay, so you can do a 360 radiator like they already have up in the front here. You can also do an additional 360 radiator right behind it. In order to give you a little bit more space, you could do drive cages up here too, but in order to give you more space for drives, they've actually done some drive mounts up here, tucked away in the top, some 3.5 inch ones. And then you also have a cage that you can maybe barely see down here at the bottom as well. This is a very subtle system. The red LEDs inside are what are giving us most of the actual view of the interior. But the 808 is expected later this year. And especially at the price point they're talking about, with the tempered glass and the steel construction, I think it's going to be a pretty compelling case. Inwin cases can be out there sometimes, but this one seems a lot more practical for home use. That G.Skill booth is loud over there. That's okay, they're my sponsors. Alright, there's so much tempered glass at this Inwin booth that it's impossible not to get my reflection and stuff, but I also wanted to show you guys this case. This is the 805, right? 805 right there. Also, tempered glass, not just on the front, not just on the side, but also on the opposite side as well, like all the way over there. So this thing's like almost completely made of tempered glass, which means I'm getting tons of reflections and you can't really see the inside very much. But you can see, I believe it's a 240mm radiator they have up the front. Beautiful water-cooled system in here. If you guys are looking at this and wondering where the air comes from or where the air goes to, because there's no exhaust on the top, they do have some space here between the front panels so it can enter there. These fans at the front are pushing some air towards the back. You can also do a fan down at the bottom, and there is a fan filter down there that you can remove, dust filter I should say, that you can remove as well. But apart from that, all tempered glass, and just another beautiful looking and striking case from Inwin. I even like the Inwin logo they have going up the side there. Hex panel at the front with the LEDs behind it kind of leaks through and gives it a really cool look. I think I need to get one of these cases and film it in a dark room so you can actually see more of it rather than just tons and tons of reflections. But trust me guys, it's a beautiful case. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm over here at Antec now, and they have this brand new case. It's called the Signature S10, and they have a lot of bright lighting around it as well as a mirror directly behind it. So if you're wondering what I look like right now, there I am. Hello. Alright, just recording stuff. But I wanted to show you guys this case because it's new and it's pretty different, and I thought you might like it. Now, apart from these being samples, which is why the C is peeling off down there, this side panels are available in aluminum or tempered glass. There's some tempered glass versions down there. There's also some loud music playing down here. That's why I'm showing you guys this version instead. Now, you might notice you can view, like you can see right through this side of it. See? There's actually 3 chambers. There's a chamber at the bottom for the power supply. There's a main chamber for your motherboard and all that stuff. And there's this chamber right here, which is going to be for drives. You can actually fit 6 3.5 inch drives vertically right here. You can also make my shot a little bit brighter so you can actually see what's going on. So you can see these drive cages. I haven't messed around to see how those pull out or everything, but you have something ridiculous like, 6 quick release toolless 3.5 inch bays. And then you also have 8 quick release toolless 2.5 inch bays. So you can fit a ton of drives in this. You can also hit these little buttons like this one. The door swings right open. That's just one solid thick piece of aluminum. See? That's pretty cool. Very, very sturdy. Inside you can see what is a pretty standard motherboard tray, but it supports EATX motherboards, up to 12 inch by 13 inch motherboards actually. And then you can see basically where you have a downward firing fans that will pull the air from the drives down through and out the bottom. And then you also have some incidental heat that might come through here, so you're going to have intake's actually right here from the side, which is also different. The door keeps swinging closed too, so not much I can do about that. So this is going to push air back through this main chamber. It's got an exhaust at the back there. It's got some more exhaust at the top there, so you could actually put some radiators and all that kind of stuff. Again, a separated compartment down at the bottom. Antec started doing that all the way back with like the P180. And then, what is this? Oh, these are more 2.5-inch drive cages down there at the bottom. And then just the overall look of it is it's a little bit different than your typical case. It's pretty angular. The video in the background keeps saying it looks fast just looking at it, which I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you agree? Do you not agree? This is the S10. And then up at the top, we'll show you the I/O real quick. We got 4 USB 3.0 ports as far as I can tell. There's a blank right there, so maybe they're intending to upgrade that with something. Maybe that's the power button? No, that could be the power button. And then also you have mic and headphone jack up there as well. Let's walk down the line and show you some of the builds they actually have set up in these. There's a build with the Vexir memory. It's that blue stuff and a gigabyte motherboard and some clear tubing. This is also the one with the tempered glass, so as you can see, if you want a better look at the inside, you can do that, or if you want something a little bit more subdued, like Antec is fairly well known for, you can do that. Here they have also added, I guess they got a front radiator going on. No radiator at the top on this one, but I'm sure you could do like a you could easily do like a 240 up there at least. I also noticed they even included 5¼ inch bay like mount right here. I don't think you can actually fit an entire, you couldn't fit an optical drive in there, but you could use it for like adding additional headers or something along those lines. So pretty cool and interesting design. I'm going to come down here by this loud video that keeps playing to show you some of these builds they have going too. If you can't tell, this has an ASRock motherboard inside. But here's another look at some of the drives installed in that one. And then I like this door latch thing. You push the button to pop the door open, and then you can get a look at the inside. Oh, look, this even has a light-up Antec logo down at the bottom. That's pretty cool. And you can see one of the 2.5-inch drives installed down there too. Very nice. So guys, let me know what you think. This is the S10 and the S10G, new Signature series from Antec. Alright guys, I'm here at Cooler Master, and Cooler Master is of course one of my sponsors, and Rajiv is right here, and Rajiv's off. I'm going to shake your hand right now, because Rajiv's like one of my favorite people. But I asked Rajiv to tell me what like his favorite product is that they brought here to CES, and he said of course the MasterCase. So Rajiv, there's another video that I'm going to do that has a much more in-depth look at the MasterCase and some of its variants. What are your 3 favorite things about the MasterCase?
Well, first of all, it's that freeform modular system that we have for external and internal modularity. It basically is all 3 of my favorite parts because you don't have to focus on internal or external. If you want spec or you want look, change it and make it yours. Simple as that.
That's it. So guys, check out my other video where I give you guys a much closer look at these awesome new cases. And big thanks to Cooler Master for sponsoring my trip here.
We love you, Paul.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, G.Skill is one of my proud sponsors for my Computex 2015 coverage. So I asked G.Skill, hey, what do you got? What do you have here at the show that you're most proud of? And they answered, well, we got the Trident Z. That's right, the successor to the Trident X is the Trident Z. This is their new design for their newest and most fancy DDR4 memory. And take a look at the design that they have here. We have brushed aluminum going on either side. There's black on one side, there's gray on the other. Here's an actual stick that we can take a closer look at. As is common with the Trident series from G.Skill, this has a very aggressive look and design, and this is going to be their highest end DDR4 stuff. So this will be available in the highest speeds with the lowest timings. It's got some accent color on the top, some red, silver, and black is the versions they're showing here. I asked them if they're considering any other color variations for this, and they said yes. So let me know what other colors you would think. I was thinking maybe the silver on both sides with a variety of accent colors on top, or maybe the black on both sides with, again, either red on top or other accent colors. Let me know in the comment section though, guys, what variety of colors you'd like to see with this memory design. And once again, this has been the Trident Z from G.Skill. Ladies and gentlemen, as you might know, MSI is one of my proud sponsors for my Computex 2015 coverage, and I asked them what they have here at their booth that they're showing off amongst all of their fantastic products. that they were very excited about and wanted me to kind of plug to you guys and show a little bit more. The answer is right here. It's their new motherboard, the X99A Godlike Gaming, and as you might be able to see, it's their first ever RGB LED motherboard. It has full LEDs scattered throughout the board. You can control them with a associated app. It's quite fantastic. Now I am doing a much more in-depth look at this in my other MSI video where I talk about MSI graphics cards and motherboards, so check that out if you want to see a bit more. And of course, a huge thank you to MSI for sponsoring my trip to Computex 2015 this year.